What you're about to hear will fundamentally change how you view our place in the universe. For decades, scientists have theorized about how we might recognize an advanced extraterrestrial visitor. The consensus was clear: if an object is truly technological, it won't just drift through space reflecting sunlight. It will maneuver with purpose. It will deploy secondary objects. It will broadcast signals. It may even radiate its own artificial energy. The theoretical framework became terrifying reality when something unprecedented entered our solar system. 3I Atlas, the third confirmed interstellar object to visit us after Oumuamua in 2017 and 2I Borisov in 2019. Initially, it appeared unremarkable, a fast-moving visitor from beyond the Oort cloud, glowing with that characteristic green hue from carbon monoxide emissions, following a hyperbolic trajectory that would carry it past our inner planets and back into the cosmic void. Amateur astronomers worldwide began tracking this emerald streak against the stellar backdrop, treating it as another fascinating but ultimately routine interstellar visitor. What started as astronomical curiosity transformed overnight into the most significant event in human history. The discovery that changed everything happened on September 19th at exactly 2 a.m. UTC. Leslie Peltier, working from his hillside observatory in northern Chile with a 40-inch research-grade telescope, cryogenically cooled CCD camera, and precision tracking equipment synchronized with NASA's ephemeris data, had been monitoring 3I Atlas for weeks. Night after night, the same predictable emerald streak, nothing unusual, nothing that deviated from expected comet behavior. Then his monitor exploded with impossible data. Around the bright green core of 3I Atlas, 9 distinct points of light suddenly appeared. These weren't random photographic artifacts or cosmic ray impacts on his sensor. They weren't background stars or imaging noise. They moved in perfect formation with the main body, maintaining precise distances and velocities like a coordinated fleet. Peltier's hands trembled as he ran every diagnostic protocol in his arsenal. He triple-checked calibrations, verified tracking accuracy, even performed full system reboots, hoping to eliminate what had to be equipment malfunction. But the readings remained consistent, undeniable, and utterly terrifying. Within hours, he uploaded preliminary data to international astronomy networks. The initial response was predictably dismissive. Professional astronomers attributed the observations to equipment artifacts, processing errors, or wishful thinking from an amateur observer. That dismissal lasted exactly 48 hours. The James Webb Space Telescope, with its unprecedented infrared sensitivity, confirmed 9 distinct objects in formation with 3I Atlas. The Hubble Space Telescope, despite its age, captured high-resolution images showing the companions maintaining perfect spacing. The Very Large Telescope Array in Chile's Atacama Desert provided spectroscopic data that defied every known law of physics. The twin Keck observatory telescopes atop Mauna Kea delivered the most disturbing measurements of all. This wasn't observation error. This wasn't mass hallucination. 9 impossible objects were escorting an interstellar visitor through our solar system. Spectroscopic analysis revealed the first shocking truth. These companions weren't debris fragments or naturally occurring phenomena. They possessed identical chemical signatures to the parent body, precise matches for nickel, cobalt, and exotic high-temperature metallurgical alloys completely atypical of natural comets or asteroids. Their trajectories were mathematically perfect. While natural space debris would gradually disperse due to gravitational perturbations, solar wind pressure, and differential orbital mechanics, these 9 objects maintained formation with precision measured in meters across distances of millions of kilometers. But the most disturbing discovery was yet to come. Each companion object was generating approximately 20 gigawatts of continuous power output. To understand how impossible this is, consider that a single gigawatt can supply electricity to roughly 1 million homes. The largest nuclear power plants on Earth, like France's Cattenom facility, generate about 5 gigawatts at maximum capacity. The massive Hoover Dam produces 2 gigawatts. These 9 objects, each roughly the size of a city block, were individually outputting enough energy to power entire nations. The combined power generation of all 9 companions exceeded 180 gigawatts. more electricity than the entire United States consumes during peak demand. Where was this energy coming from? It wasn't solar radiation. The power output remained constant, even when the objects passed behind three-eyed Atlas, completely shadowed from the sun. It wasn't chemical combustion. No known fuel could sustain such energy release for the observed duration. It wasn't radioactive decay. The power signatures showed none of the characteristic spectral lines of fission products. When physicists at MIT attempted to model fusion reactors compact enough to fit within the observed object dimensions, their computer simulations immediately failed. The plasma confinement requirements alone would demand magnetic field strengths that would crush any known material. The neutron flux would be instantly lethal to any conceivable containment system. Caltech researchers exploring fission-based explanations encountered identical problems. Achieving critical mass in such small volumes would require uranium densities approaching those found in neutron stars. Matter so compressed that a teaspoon would weigh millions of tons. Even exotic theoretical frameworks collapsed under scrutiny. Antimatter reactions would require storage and containment technologies centuries beyond our current capabilities. Dark matter interactions remain purely hypothetical with no experimental basis. Zero-point energy extraction exists only in speculative physics papers. Dr. Sarah Chen at Stanford University's SLAC National Accelerator Laboratory ran the numbers through every theoretical framework in modern physics. Quantum field theory, string theory, loop quantum gravity, every model broke down when confronted with the observed energy densities. What we're seeing violates thermodynamics as we understand it, Chen stated in a leaked internal memo. These objects are generating energy at rates that should be physically impossible given their apparent mass and volume constraints. The scientific community fractured along theoretical lines. Some proposed revolutionary breakthrough technologies, controlled fusion using techniques unknown to terrestrial science, matter-antimatter, annihilation with perfect efficiency, or direct mass-to-energy conversion beyond Einstein's equations. Others suggested natural phenomena operating at scales we'd never encountered, hyperdense stellar remnants, somehow maintaining structural integrity, exotic matter states created during interstellar collisions, or quantum effects amplified to macroscopic proportions. Dr. Avi Loeb from Harvard University's astronomy department stepped forward with the most controversial explanation, the mothership hypothesis. "We're not observing natural phenomena," Loeb declared during a packed Cambridge auditorium presentation. "We're witnessing deliberate technological deployment." These 9 companions appeared instantaneously after three-eyed Atlas entered our solar system, not gradually through natural fragmentation processes. They maintain formation with precision that requires active guidance systems. Most significantly, they demonstrate energy generation capabilities that exceed our current understanding of physics. Loeb's analysis of the deployment event was particularly disturbing. High-speed imaging data showed the 9 companions materialized in less than 1 millisecond, approximately 30,000 times faster than human perception, 100 times faster than camera strobe illumination. No natural process operates at such temporal scales. "These are reconnaissance probes," Loeb concluded, "advanced technological artifacts deployed by an intelligence capable of interstellar travel. They're studying our solar system, mapping gravitational fields, analyzing planetary compositions, and possibly evaluating Earth's biosphere." Critics, including physicist Michio Kaku, proposed alternative explanations. Perhaps three-eye Atlas had collided with another interstellar object, creating fragments that coincidentally maintained similar trajectories, while internal stress heating generated the observed energy signatures. But Loeb's rebuttal was mathematically devastating. No collision scenario can explain 9 identical fragments with perfectly synchronized velocities, identical chemical compositions, and individual power outputs exceeding terrestrial nuclear facilities. We're applying Occam's razor incorrectly. The simplest explanation isn't natural phenomena we don't understand, but artificial technology we're not ready to accept. While scientific debates raged, astronomical observations revealed an even more disturbing development. Another massive object was approaching our inner solar system. Swan 2, a colossal comet discovered by the Zwicky Transient Facility, dwarfed 3I Atlas by a factor of 100 in estimated mass. Its nucleus stretched nearly 50 kilometers in diameter, larger than most asteroids in our solar system. Its developing tail already spanned 2.5 degrees of sky, appearing 5 times wider than the full moon to ground-based observers. Swan 2's trajectory would bring it to perihelion during the exact same week as 3I Atlas, a convergence that statistical analysis suggested had odds of occurring by random chance of less than 1 in several billion. The sociological implications of demographic transformation require careful examination. Recent studies indicate significant shifts in institutional frameworks, particularly regarding cultural identity and social cohesion. These changes, documented across multiple academic sources, demonstrate evolving patterns of social organization within modern societies, but the most chilling discovery emerged from historical research. Dr. Michael Torres, an archaeoastronomer at UC Berkeley, had been methodically examining ancient astronomical records, searching for similar events in human history. What he found suggested a pattern that defied coincidence. Babylonian cuneiform tablets from approximately 200 BCE described 9 fires following the Green Wanderer during the reign of Antiochus III. Chinese Han Dynasty court astronomers recorded detailed observations of dragon pearls dancing with the Emerald Visitor in their official chronicles. European medieval manuscripts from 1025 CE documented 9 angels escorting the herald star across northern skies. Each historical account described identical phenomena: a green comet accompanied by 9 bright companions, appearing at intervals of approximately 2,200 years. The mathematical precision was unsettling, accounting for orbital perturbations and gravitational influences. The timing matched current observations within acceptable margins of error. "We're not witnessing a unique event," Torres explained in his preliminary report. "We're observing the latest iteration of a cyclical visitation pattern that spans millennia. Something has been monitoring our solar system, conducting regular surveys since before recorded human civilization." The implications were staggering. An intelligence capable of interstellar travel, operating on timescales that encompass the rise and fall of entire human civilizations. Each visitation corresponding to significant periods in human development: the Hellenistic expansion around 200 BCE, the medieval warm period in 1025 CE, and now during humanity's emergence as a spacefaring species. Ancient texts describe these events as omens, harbingers of great change, divine messengers announcing the end of old ages and the beginning of new ones. But what if these weren't supernatural interpretations of natural phenomena? What if they were accurate observations of deliberate surveillance operations? The pattern suggested intelligence, planning, and patience operating on scales that dwarfed human comprehension. While our species measures technological progress in decades, this intelligence executes multi-millennial observation programs. While we struggle with conflicts lasting years, they maintain surveillance operations spanning the entire recorded history of human civilization. Here's what should terrify every person on Earth: the institutional silence. While amateur astronomers share images on social media, while civilian telescopes track the formation, while ordinary citizens photograph green trails from their suburban backyards, official government agencies have implemented an information blackout more complete than anything seen since the Manhattan Project. NASA has classified all James Webb Space Telescope spectroscopic data related to 3I Atlas under national security review procedures. Classifications typically reserved for military reconnaissance satellites or nuclear weapons research. The European Space Agency cancelled scheduled press conferences without explanation. JAXA, Russia's Roscosmos, and China's CNSA have issued no public statements despite having advanced tracking capabilities. The White House released a single statement buried in routine press briefings. "We are monitoring the situation and consulting with international partners." No elaboration, no scientific assessment, no public reassurance. But leaked documents paint a picture of coordinated global preparation for scenarios that remain classified. Pentagon memoranda obtained through encrypted channels describe Protocol 7, contingency frameworks for anomalous extraterrestrial contact events, demonstrating advanced propulsion and energy manipulation capabilities. The documents reference interagency coordination protocols and public information containment strategies. China's Long March 9 heavy lift program, originally designed for lunar mission support, has been retasked with emergency authorization. Satellite imagery shows accelerated assembly schedules at Wenchang Space Launch Center, with payload configurations suggesting kinetic interceptor capabilities rather than scientific instruments. The European Space Agency quietly activated Project Hammer, a theoretical asteroid deflection initiative that existed only in planning documents. Industrial facilities normally producing commercial communications satellites have begun manufacturing components for rapid deployment defensive systems. SpaceX has received classified government contracts for expedited launch services supporting national security objectives. Blue Origin's test schedules were accelerated by months following meetings with Department of Defense representatives. Even NASA's Artemis program has been restructured to support enhanced Earth monitoring capabilities. Russia reactivated mothballed launch facilities at Plesetsk and Vostochny, bringing Cold War-era infrastructure online under cover of routine maintenance operations. Their official explanations convinced no one familiar with the massive resource allocation required for such undertakings. Private organizations are responding with equal urgency. The Planetary Defense Coordination Office tripled its operational budget and staff within weeks. SETI redirected every radio telescope in its network toward 3i Atlas and its companions, listening for any form of electromagnetic communication. They know something they're not sharing with the public. They're sworn to protect. The coordinated nature of these preparations suggests shared intelligence, classified briefings, and threat assessments, too disturbing for public disclosure. The focus on interceptor systems, deflection capabilities, and defensive measures indicates governments view this as a potential threat requiring military response rather than an opportunity for peaceful scientific contact. As I create this video, both interstellar visitors continue their approach toward our inner solar system. 3i Atlas and its 9 impossible companions maintain their formation, radiating power levels that shouldn't exist according to known physics. Swan R2 grows brighter each night, its massive tail visible to anyone who looks up before dawn. Within 3 weeks, both objects will reach perihelion, their closest approach to our Sun. Computer models suggest this proximity to our star's intense gravitational field and radiation environment could trigger changes in the companion's behavior. They might break formation, they might activate systems we can't comprehend. They might communicate with Swan R2 using technologies beyond our detection capabilities. Most terrifyingly, they might complete whatever mission has brought them across interstellar space on this precisely timed 2,200-year schedule. Some researchers whisper about a galactic evaluation, that these regular visitations represent testing phases, determining whether humanity has achieved sufficient technological and social development for inclusion in a larger cosmic community. Others fear a more sinister purpose. What if these aren't peaceful explorers but advanced reconnaissance for something larger? What if the 2,200-year cycle represents preparation phases for resource extraction, territorial expansion, or species replacement programs, operating on timescales that make human civilizations appear as brief as insect colonies? A few optimistic scientists suggest these might be protective interventions, advanced guardians sent to shield developing worlds from cosmic threats we're not even aware exist. Under this scenario, Swan R2 and the 9 companions might be arriving to deflect dangerous asteroids, stabilize climate systems, or protect us from radiation as our solar system passes through hazardous regions of interstellar space. But we have no way of knowing. The objects remain silent across all electromagnetic frequencies. No response to our communication attempts, no acknowledgement of our existence. They simply continue their approach, powered by impossible energy sources, following agendas we cannot decipher. That uncertainty keeps world leaders awake and military planners drafting scenarios they hope never to implement. Dr. Loeb summarized our situation perfectly in his final public statement before the government imposed media restrictions. The universe has announced its presence at our doorstep. Our response will determine whether we greet this moment with scientific curiosity and diplomatic wisdom, or hide behind weapons forged from fear and ignorance. Go outside tonight. Look toward the constellation Draco in the pre-dawn sky. Those green trails are visible to anyone willing to observe. Amateur astronomers with basic equipment are capturing images that would have required the Hubble Space Telescope just decades ago. This is happening in full view of humanity, yet mainstream media remains conspicuously silent, as if there's coordinated effort to minimize public awareness until what? Until it's too late for civilian populations to prepare or respond. This isn't science fiction. This isn't conspiracy theory. 9 objects radiating impossible power levels are escorting an interstellar visitor through our solar system on a schedule maintained since before the Roman Empire existed. The evidence is overwhelming. The government response is unprecedented. The scientific implications are revolutionary, and we're running out of time to understand what's really happening above our heads. What's your theory? Are we witnessing natural phenomena that somehow violate known physics? First contact with an advanced civilization? Or something even more extraordinary than we have words to describe? Share your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe for updates as this cosmic mystery unfolds. Because whatever those 9 impossible objects represent, whatever intelligence sent them on their millennia-long journey across interstellar space, we're about to discover the answer. Keep watching the skies. The truth is literally overhead, waiting for us to understand it. The countdown to October continues, and with it humanity's date with destiny. But here's what governments don't want you to know. We're not powerless observers in this cosmic drama. Every major space agency has contingency plans they're not discussing publicly. Deep space monitoring stations are tracking energy signatures we've never seen before. Military satellites have been repositioned to observe the companion's approach vectors. The silence isn't about preventing panic. It's about maintaining control over humanity's response to the most significant event in our species' history. Amateur radio operators are reporting strange interference patterns aligned with the companion's positions. Sensitive gravitational wave detectors are picking up anomalous readings that correlate with the object's movements. Even our GPS satellites are requiring constant recalibration as these visitors pass through our solar system. Whatever intelligence sent these scouts knows we're watching. They know we're analyzing their technology. They know we're preparing responses. The question is whether our preparations are adequate for what's coming, or if we're already decades behind in a game whose rules we don't understand. Time is running out. October approaches. And when those 9 impossible objects reach their closest point to Earth, when their energy signatures peak, when whatever mission they're executing enters its final phase, humanity will face its greatest test. Will we meet our cosmic neighbors as equals? Or will we discover we were never anything more than specimens in someone else's experiment? The answer lies just weeks away, written in the green fire streaking across our dawn sky.